We're joined now by our race-winning driver and crew chief, driver of the number 12 Team Penske Ford, Joey Logano, and crew chief Brian Wilson. A couple of quick facts. This is, with today's victory, Joey's 28th in 160 NASCAR Xfinity Series starts. He moves into sole possession of 8th place on the all-time NASCAR Xfinity Series wins list. And this is your first victory and first top 10 finish here at Las Vegas, your first race here at Las Vegas in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And also notes that you and Brian teamed up to win the fall Xfinity race at Charlotte. So this is 2 in a row for you two in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Tell us a little bit about especially those last series of restarts, Joey. That got pretty exciting with you and Kyle.
Yeah, it was a fun race for sure. First off, what a great group of guys and girls to put together for this 12 car. That's 3 wins in a row for this 12 car since Watkins Glen last year. So, we're proud to be a small piece of that and get to drive that thing. So we have a lot of fun. It's a pretty funny group, but it seems to work pretty well. So proud of that to be able to go out there and win today. It was a fast car. Brian did a good job. Being able to unload with quite a bit of speed, and it seems like these Team Penske cars are coming back over here on the Xfinity side. So really looking forward to the season now compared to where we were last year. And obviously we had a fast car today. We were able to pull some good strategy at one point towards the end of a segment and find ourselves back in the lead when it cycled through and be able to hold off the 18. And then, they gave us plenty of opportunities to screw it up at the end, or at least me screw it up at the end when it comes to restarts. There's so many. Every time I thought we had the race won and be able to pull away, boom, another caution. I was like, golly, this is a race that would never end. So felt more relieved coming across the line than anything. There's so many different restarts and trying to figure out what lane to pick and think about who you're restarting against and what their cars can and can't do and who's a good pusher and who isn't, and then you got to change it up every time because what works first time don't work again. So it's just a challenging day from the restart standpoint because you're kind of a lot of times as a leader, sometimes you're a sitting duck up there and trying to figure it all out. So I leaned on the guys a lot, asking them questions. I'm not sure they knew the answers either, but at least helped me along a little bit.
Brian, this is 3 wins in a row. You're obviously on a roll. You're in Las Vegas. I got to assume you got big plans for this evening.
No, unfortunately, flying home. Yeah, we're going back across country. So, no, but it seemed like the Rev Group was having fun. They might be celebrating a little bit tonight.
Excellent. Talk to us a little bit, Brian, from your perspective about the coaching and the discussion that you and Joey are having during that series of restarts at the end of the race. What are some of the things you're telling him? Yeah,
so like Joey said, we really didn't have any idea what was going to happen there. Tab and myself, we were both talking through it with Joey. A lot of times, for me, I was just relying on what had worked the past couple of times, knowing that the high lane had worked for us. But it's always tough. You gotta look at who's pushing, what's been working, who's going to be inside, and we were just very fortunate. Logano, he's the best at restart, so really lucky to have him.
Excellent. We'll open it up.
For said that if we didn't win today.
We'll open up for questions for our winning driver and crew chief. We'll go first to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Savers. For both of you guys, as important as lane choice was late in the race on the final stage, was the winning move really staying out and flipping the track position when you did?
I don't know if that was a winning move, but for me, I think it was a key move. It allowed us to get up front, see how our car was going to handle up front, because it definitely seemed like it handled a little bit differently in traffic. So anytime you can get to the front and work on your car and know what you need to have to be out front, I think is important. So no, it didn't win us the race. Obviously, the restarts did, but it was key to be able to have the balance, to be able to have the good speed at the end.
Yeah, I thought, it was a good call. Obviously, when we talked a little bit before the race, said, what's it matter if we win a stage? We're not racing for points. So we, our strategy obviously is able to change because of that. And there's a few other cars that are thinking the same way. And that was really the first time since this new format that a caution's come out that soon or that close to the end of a segment, and you get to see that excitement, and that's what this is for. The restart was bananas after that. 3-4 wide, trying to get back up there, and then it cycled through to find us back in the lead, and we were able to really, like I said, hold off the 18 car, which made me feel like, man, we got a really fast car to have older tires and be able to hold them off. So at that point, I knew we had the winning car. We just had to execute the rest of the day.
We'll go right here to the middle.
Tom Zaleski, Iron County Today. Hi, Joey. The way everything worked out with all those yellows in the final 38 laps, what were the thinking on either side? What were you guys talking to each other? How were you trying to, I guess, keep calm and make the right choices and all that other stuff?
So what were we thinking?
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Well, we were confused.
That's
or I was confused. I'd kind of put my 2 cents in, and just what previous experience I've had here at the racetrack, and there's that moment that sticks in my mind from last year in a cup race, and I started on the inside and as the leader, and I lost the lead, and I felt like I lost the race last year to win. So I got that in the back of my mind, and the other part of the back of my mind was the 18 car and how good of a pusher he was, and how long is he going to push before he starts to make the move and put you 3 wide, and I don't know, and then how do you line up to the start, and how are you going to beat these guys, and there's so much to think about. The restart game is evolved so much over the last 2 years because everyone's gotten so good at it, everyone's focused in on it so well, and you got to keep changing it up. So it's I think the most challenging part of our sport as a driver to understand restarts and making the right decisions. Not only what lane to pick or getting up through the gears, but the first 2 laps of a restart is intense and important.
Basically, then it's flying by seat of the pants all the way through.
Well, you have somewhat of a game plan, but you got to be ready to change at any moment. That's just sports, right? You can put a plan together, you can have a whole play figured out, and then one little thing changes, and you got to be ready to change with it. So you kind of got to expect the unexpected as well.
Brian, how much input did you have on the restarts?
I think I chimed in on each one of them. It was kind of a group effort, and I think afterwards there, Joey said that at least we were all going down together, because for the most part we all kind of chose the same thing each time. And I think the biggest thing was just trying to look at who was going to be in that second row, because it seemed like that kept changing each time around. So figuring out who's going to be the best pusher and who might be more aggressive to go 3 wide. And I think that's the main conversation we were having.
We'll go to the far right over here.
Dominic Ottago on the RacingExperts.com. Joey, just want to know, with you running the Cup race tomorrow, what's the biggest lesson you learned today that can be applied to tomorrow's race?
There's some. I really thought, this is my first time I've run an Xfinity race here, and I really thought the race kind of played out a lot like a Cup race does, as far as the balance of the car and the way it kind of goes through a run. So, some good things I can take away from that. And kind of understanding the difference from practice to race here in Vegas is always sometimes a little bit of a struggle. So I feel like we got a little glimpse of that, which will help. And the track widened out today, and it didn't in Cup practice very much. So I think as a driver, that kind of helps me know what lanes I can go for the first few laps of the Cup race before 5 laps later when everyone figures that out. So it's a small advantage for a little bit, but I'll take it.
We have another question in the back, and then we'll come up front here to Chris.
David Swope, ESPN Radio Albuquerque. Questions for Brian. How much does the tire wear feedback that you're getting from segment 1 and segment 2 play into your decisions as to where you pit?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing that we were weighing out. Not only the amount of tire wear that we have, but the amount of sets that we have. You're pretty limited with the number of sets that you've got in the pit box. Coming into the race, it seemed like from practice we had 20 laps on tires, and we had pretty heavy right side wear, but not a lot of left side. So it seemed like 2 tires might come into play, but then pretty early in the race, you start seeing the wear, and it's both sides are wearing out. I heard a couple cars had left front issues with a little bit of cording. So at that point, you start to realize, all right, it's going to be 4 tires, and you're just really picking when do you want to use the sets that you've got left in the box.
We'll go right here in the middle to Chris Knight.
KnightKitchens.com. Joey, I was just curious if you could talk about your relationship with Tabloid. You guys seem like you guys are in sync so much, and then can you talk about your relationship? Does it span off the racetrack? I mean, what's your guys' friendship and relationship like?
Well, I think when you work with any spotter, you better have some kind of relationship there because you got to trust that person. That's your eyes in the skies, and when he says clear, I got to be sure of it. On top of that, the spotter role, just like restarts, has evolved a lot. It's not really, it is important, obviously, to clear you in that, but really, the spotter's job has become way more important to the driver as far as giving information about other cars and where other cars are running and what to do. And you really have to be a student of the sport to be a good spotter today. You have to really work at it. It's not an easy job, believe me. A lot of us can see it. I can go up there in the spotter stand, and as a race car driver, I can see everything that's happening, and I know what's going to happen, but seeing it and then putting it into words is where I would struggle. It's really hard to do, and that's where a lot of these spotters are really good at being able to see it, put it into words to where the driver can understand that. And obviously when you have that lingo and things that you have to put into words that quick, you have to have a relationship with your spotter that's more towards a friendship, that you guys kind of understand what you're saying with even the tone of his voice sometimes. So obviously it's something that like I said, I work at it a lot. I know he works at it a lot, and how we can be better. And it's it's typical for us. We talk every week and about what happened and what we could have done better, and we do reviews just like everyone else on the team, and how we can improve ourselves as an individual.
How long did your relationship go back with him?
What's he spotted for me for the first year of Penske, but I had him for about 3 or 4 races before that. So what am I, 4 years into Team Penske here? 4 or 5 years? What am I, 4 years?
I think 4 years.
4 years, so a little over 4 years. We'll go with that. That sounds good, right? We'll go a little over 4 years. He might not know either.
We'll stay right here in the middle with Jerry, and then we'll go to the right.
Jerry Jordan, Performance Racing Network and KickingTheTires.net. Joey, 3 weeks out here on the West Coast. What are your plans for the next couple between here and California when we go back home?
Go back home and prepare for the next race. I'm going to go back and forth every week, every time, and just kind of keep that rhythm going on. And I've stayed out here before, and there's some good things and bad things that come along with it. But I feel comfortable with going back and being able to debrief with the team and think about the next races coming up and kind of keep that routine.
Let's finish up over here on the right.
Rick Johnson, St. George News. Joey, you've won a lot of Xfinity, but this one's a little different. It's a first in a couple of ways, is it not?
Yeah, I won as a rookie, right? I was kind of bummed out. This is kind of a funny story. So we were talking the other day at the shop, and I said, hey, I think I'm a rookie. I should have rookie stripes, and I should have a rookie set of tires for practice. To that got shot down pretty hard by NASCAR. I thought, and my answer to that was I saw Mark Martin do that at Michigan one time, and he was a rookie. And I was like, well, shoot, if Mark Martin, he's been racing a lot longer than me, but we kind of got a kick out of it. But overall, I guess I don't know. Was I technically a rookie today or no?
No.
But it is the first time I raced
at
here.
this track, but you're not.
But I'm not a rookie.
No, sir.
Are you guys confused? I'm confused. Because if I raced Cup, I want the answer to this. So if I raced Cup for like 2 years and came here for the first time in Xfinity, would that make me a rookie?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I mean, he raced against Ben Hur, I think. So it's a long time. I just kidding.
And with that, we'll let our race-winning crew go
I should
ahead.
have left earlier, huh?
Gentlemen, congratulations.
All right, thanks.